Now, in its 11th year, the Running Raider Classic drew more than 300 runners and walkers, ranging from highly competitive to decidedly recreational, into South Park this morning to play Beat the Clock. That is the largest field in the history of that event, and one that was treated to spectacular weather this morning to boot. Let's pick it up with the kids' race. Always fun in this one. A mile they would run, and it would be a good group, an energetic group, and a fun group going at it. Your winner today in that pairing would be Mr. Patrick Christ, who ends up taking first place. You see him right there in the orange jersey. You will also see him in a matter of seconds crossing the finish line, just ahead of his little brother, I assume, who was Sivan Christ. So you're going to see Patrick right there going in for the win, and there's Sivan running hard in the orange shirt to take second place as well. Now on to the main event. Huge crowd, as we mentioned. We'll start you off with the winners out of the 300 people there in the men's 5K. Leading the pack today, and you will see a number of familiar faces in that pack group starting things off, but breaking away from everybody in the 5K, this gentleman, Jesse Sewell of Mount Sterling, who ran the 5K in 17:42. That is good enough for the victory today. He set the pace just a few seconds later, in fact 17 of them to be precise. Marcus Thomas, a young man who has moved to the Quincy area from Chicago, has aspirations of going to the Olympic trials. Mr. Thomas finished second on the day with a time of 17:59, and then Jesse Martin, all the way from Sedona, Arizona, finished third in 18:43. Top female in the 5K, that young lady, Caitlin Robin of Liberty, runs it in 22:03. She would be followed by Megan Berry, also of Liberty, in a first-second finish. Ms. Berry with a time in this one of 22:13, also finishing third on the day. Blair Genenbacher of Fowler, so it was all about Adams County in the women's 5K. All of those young ladies, I believe, 15 years old or younger, so the future of running in the Adams County area very bright. Your male winner today in the race walk, or the walk, was Chuck Trent of the city of Concord. Congratulations, Chuck. Your female winner was Julia Hayes of Keokuk, who walked the 5K in 39:22. Finally to the long race now. 10K on the men's side. Our buddy Jared Schmidt out of Liberty, former Western Illinois star, currently the new cross-country and track and field coach at Liberty, as named a little earlier this month. 36:57. Jared claimed he was out of shape coming into this. Jared is never out of shape. He was sandbagging all of us. He was almost 4 minutes better than the next closest competitor. That would be Dion Malincrot of Pittsfield, who ran the race in 40:08. In the women's 10K, Karen Brophy, and she looks like a runner. She looks like a ton right here. She gets it done out of Galesburg. 44:44, running away from everybody. Angela Matlock of Bowling Green finished in second in the women's 10K. But your winner was Karen Brophy. And finally, got to mention, fourth place in the race walk, our guy Ray Heilman, retiring his last official act. I was nearly taken out and assaulted today by a Culver Stockton softball coach, or soccer coach, I should say, Tyler Tomlinson, trying to come after me. But fortunately, I still had the quick reflexes to get away from Tyler Tomlinson. I am cagey, in fact, so there you go. Great day to be had, great event for Andy Edgar, good stuff out there at the Running Raider Classic, as always. And when we come back, we've got a championship here to celebrate in the Gem City.
You're watching KHQA Overtime with Chris Dewar, brought to you by Con Communications.
And welcome back to Overtime, everybody. For the second time now in 4 years, the Quincy Spartans gathered tonight to celebrate an 8FL football championship, one they claimed in dramatic fashion back on June the 10th, with a comeback win over the Capital City Outlaws, a title quest punctuated by a touchdown pass from Toby O'Cheltry to Frank Stoddard with 23 seconds left in the ball game. Suffice it to say, these are the kind of things that memories are made of.
We knew that with 23 seconds left in the game that we only had 40 yards left to go in the field, so we threw a seam route to Tyler Buckman, and when she came up with a miraculous play, he ran a touchdown after that. Basically, our defense held them with 17 seconds left to go. Dramatic ending. They were putting their championship shirts on, on our offensive possession, so it was an amazing play by our offensive line, held up, and our receiver made a great play, and our defensive also held off with 17 seconds left to go.
The emotion of that game, roller coaster, ups and downs. We're winning, then we're losing, then we're winning, and then they have a chance to win again. I can't call it. It's unbelievable.
I can't say anything more than our quarterback threw a perfect pass to our wide receiver. It was something that we weren't ready for. It was something that he caught and took it in, and we were all shocked. But, you know, it was everything that we fought for the season, and they fought for it on the last play.
What made us successful is the chemistry we had, because we're all local guys for the most part. 99% of our roster played here, high school and college, so that was a huge bonus for us.
We all came from different backgrounds. We all played around here. You know, we all were, you know, on the all-star teams around here, and we're locally based. So we all have grown up around each other and seen the way each other play. We believed in each other. So that being said, that was the source of our power, you know, is our belief in each other.
Next season is going to be tough, to be honest with you. There's several ex-NFL guys, whether they made camps and got cut, and there's several Division I players that are in the league. So it's going to be tough. We got to bring our own game.
We have a lot of core players that are going to be back next season, and we look to be strong, but we're always looking for more players. We're always looking, you know, for that next player that hasn't made it to college, that hasn't made it to the pros, that, you know, that wants to still play football. And that's the type of players that we want on our team, people that can still make plays.
Our congratulations to the Spartans on a fine campaign, fast becoming an 8FL powerhouse. Let's talk some high school football, and if you haven't joined us on the Facebook page yet and you like the high school football, you need to, because every week we're talking relevant issues in high school football and pulling your opinion. This week we asked you who the best linebacker was in the entire Tri-States, and your pick out of Monroe City, Mr. Grice, who is in fact a ton, one of a couple of really great athletes. In fact, we've got a couple out there this year that I think bear watching. Brett Taylor out of Macomb, who might be my choice as the top linebacker in the area, had 172 total tackles last season. Playing the middle linebacker position, is slimmed down nicely, down to 200 pounds this year. Looks great. Tell you what, that's a kid who already has a Division I scholarship offer on the table from Western Illinois. He's a good one. You voted for Dakota Downs from Quincy High, number 3 on our Facebook page. Obviously one of 2 outstanding linebackers in the Blue Devil system, along with Jaden Sumi. And Reed Bensinger from Unity Payson was your 4th place vote. One other name that didn't get a number of votes yet, but who belongs probably in that discussion, Blake Richardson out of Concord, Triopia, in what figures and shapes up to be a pretty darn good year for linebackers. Speaking of football, we are less than a week away now from the KHQA Do or Die Bowl. It is number 8. It is Friday night, June the 29th at Flynn Stadium. Gates open at 5:30. We will be there at 7 with all your football highlights. It's the best of Illinois versus the best of Missouri and Iowa. Head-to-head tickets are available now at the KHQA studios for $8 in advance. They are $10 at the door unless you show up wearing a Tri-State high school football jersey. If you do that, we'll let you in the door for $7. That's kind of our student discount. Well worth the time. We've got all sorts of goodies and wonderful things planned. Plenty of ice-cold beverages on hand from our good friends at Refreshment Services Pepsi to keep you cool and to let you watch the best in Tri-State high school football go at it. No better deal in the Tri-States than that. I suggest strongly you take advantage and watch these kids go to war. Let's talk some basketball today. Hannibal Shootout. First of all, we've got Palmyra versus Tolton Catholic. Brian Menny's crew looking pretty good in this ball game. As you will see right off the bat, the Panthers building a comfortable lead, and Jordan Nutt from the 3-point range would stretch it right there, knocking one down. Later, it's Brock Butler looking, creating, and he's going to find Jordan Nutt as well in this ball game, as Butler has good handles and great court vision, finding the slashing Jordan Nutt as he goes to the hole. Later, it's Butler with another fine setup, this time to Basil Kelly, who's going to get free in the paint, come around, and just kiss one nicely off the window. The Panthers working it around the perimeter. Trevor Menny finds a lane and scores right here as Palmyra wins that game 47-36 would be your final in this one. Meanwhile, more highlights now. Canton and Kirksville going at it. Canton look very strong today as they got contributions from everybody on this squad. David McReynolds going to start things off from the outside, knocking down the easy 3. Big day for the youngster. We love this kid on the interior. Gabe McKenzie, remember the name because he showed incredible flashes in his freshman season right here. Drives the baseline, scores with the left hand. He can do that. He's got more game as well. He'll go inside yet again right here, this time getting the bucket, the Band-Aid, and the 3-point play. More from McKenzie as well, doing it at the other end of the floor with a huge block right there to tap one away. Later, it's Brandon Bearhorst making his presence felt, hitting the mid-range jumper with a hand in his face. Not to be deterred, Bearhorst working the rebound as well. Later, he'll find Austin Hoeing on the wing on the run. He's going to find his way through 3 defenders for the finish. Canton ends up beating Kirksville today 48-46. More highlights. Good showdown today between Hannibal and Clark County. These two teams playing a little better basketball of late. Matt Pugh's team got out to an early lead. Elijah Harrison couldn't miss early on in this ball game. He's going to hit a runner off the glass coming up right here, kissing one and making that go. Then Harrison doing more work this time off the dribble. He's going to do it right here from the free throw line, come free, knock that down. Austin Egley, though, the speedy one about to answer for Clark County. He's going to drive, score, and claim the and one as well. Kid is unafraid of contact. Indians keeping contact in this game as well. Tommy Dever right here going to hit the 2 and make that happen. But the Pirates got good minutes from Kalen Anderson at the point guard position. He's going to come up with a steal right here and convert at the other end. Kyle Kovar trying to answer on the down low. That's what the big fella does. He fights, and he's a warrior in the blocks. Going to turn around and hit the 2 from the lane. Just too much from Dylan Harper and company, though, as the Hannibal Pirates are going to end up beating Clark County despite the efforts right there of Mr. Dylan Harper. Hannibal wins that game 34-27. Last set of highlights, we'll leave you with the powerhouse, Payson Seymour, who's been a summer force this game, taking on Kirksville. Brian Ray's crew looking good again in this one. They may have gone undefeated yet again today. Lance Bulig going to do some things from the outside. In fact, going to find himself wide open for a 3 on the wing. He can play a little basketball, so too can his teammates. This time it's Dalton Edwards looking for the big fella, Gage Klitz, as Klitz gets the soft finish on the soft hook. Good teamwork. It's one of the hallmarks of this Payson squad going forward. They share the ball and share it well. More Edwards and Bulig this time on the give and go. Edwards would score. It's share and share alike with the left-handed scoop shot. There's my man Jake Voss doing some work in this one. Going to make it look easy on the baseline drive right here. Nobody's going to contest him, and he's going to take it. Kirksville drives, but Hunter Flessner going to play some defense at the other end, come up with a block that would set it up to Cody Hildebrand, who's going to go the other way with it. Finally finds Jake Voss on the fast break, or actually going to get it back from Jake Voss and get the finish there. And a little more of Mr. Bulik. He's going to drive, spin, and make some things work, as it would be Payson getting the victory in this game and beating Kirksville with another nice win. Again, Payson Seymour something now like 35-3 on the summer. Pretty darn good ball club. Well, it's time now for our latest June Con Communications Connection nominee, the best sports coupling of our month. Our job is to submit 4 different highlight perusals, or in this case 5 this month for your perusal. Your job at the end of the month is to go to connecttristates.com and simply vote for your favorite of those highlight clips. And as an added incentive to ensure the democratic process, if you vote, you become eligible to win a great prize package from Con Communications. This week, our winner, or our nominee, I should say, is Mr. Matt Briggs of Burlington, Iowa, from the Pepsi Titan Little People's Golf Championships. That, my friends, is a wonderful, wonderful chip-in to save par on the par 5 22nd hole. Watch him bounce it home. Matt Briggs getting the job done. I think he ended up finishing in a tie for second place in the 8 to 9-year-old age division. Congratulations to Matt Briggs, who will join our other nominees so far this month. They include Ms. Megan Boone with the walk-off home run in the state semifinals, the combination of Nick Wyman and Jordan Chappell on the Q&D halfback option pass. Also, we've got D'Angelo Dean's big dunk from last week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, from the McDonald's Quincy Harold Wig All-Star Basketball Classic. And now Matt Briggs with the chip-in from the Pepsi Little Peoples. And speaking of that, the 39th annual Pepsi Titan Little Peoples is officially in the books. And as always, I'm more than a little sad to see it finish. Of all the things I get to do during the calendar year, there are few I enjoy more than watching the littlest of the little people head out to the Knights of Columbus course here in Quincy and both mesmerize us with their precocious talents and entertain us with their youthful antics, often within the same breath. Tonight, I look back at what makes this tournament's youngest divisions so compelling. they're awfully cute at that age. Those turtleback greens, not easy for anyone. Some of those kids had hit the ball and saw them roll back multiple times. A couple of baseball scores to pass along that have randomly appeared at different times throughout our show tonight. Here are your Keokuk scores against Iowa Mennonite. Keokuk with a sweep today to improve to 11-16 on the season, 12-7 in the first game, and in the final game it was Keokuk beating IMS 8-3.